What it do, YouTube? Shout out Tommy G Ski. That boy Tommy G Ski. What he say? Chicago's migrant. Where he at? Inside Chicago's massive migrant crisis. I'm finna see what they talking about. Cause Chicago down the street, boy. Look like he got the Spanish. I don't know what this finna be. We finna get to it. We ain't gonna waste no time on this. Tommy G Ski. W Tommy G Ski.
Me llamo Tommy G. Estoy en Chicago con los Venezuelans.
W edits. W edits, boy. Who your editor, Tommy G?
You're talking to people, getting their stories. Enjoy this journey.
Yes, sir.
To understand Chicago's migrant crisis, let's first start by covering what has been going on in the country responsible for most of the migrants, Venezuela. For years, Venezuela has been suffering from hyperinflation. It began in the 1980s with double-digit inflation, and in 2019, the Central Bank of Venezuela estimates that inflation reached over 53 million%. Among the list of reasons of why this has happened is rampant government corruption and extreme amounts of money printing. This has resulted in massive shortages of food, medicine, and access to electricity. So, in order to survive...
But I'm starting to realize as I get older, but I'm so blessed to be in this country, man, because I could be doing this right now, you know what I'm saying? Literally, right now, I could be doing this, but I'm doing this, like, you know what I'm saying? But
millions of Venezuelans have resorted to fleeing to other countries for a chance at a better life. Places like Colombia, Panama, Peru, and the United States. To get to the United States, migrants have to brave the Darien Gap, where they not only have to contend with snake bites and drowning, but also armed paramilitary groups that prey on migrants. Then they have to pass through the Panamanian jungle on foot and have to survive going through Mexico, where they may be robbed and beaten by both Mexican police and cartel affiliates. And finally, they make it to the U.S. And in places like Texas, government officials have decided to bus migrants to sanctuary cities like New York and Chicago to deal with the issue. Today, we go into the migrant camps, speak to the people.
been no folks in Chicago, come here.
The crisis is affecting their life. Let's begin.
Yeah. Hey, Tommy, I'm rocking with the video, my guy. I can see you putting a lot of effort into it.
So we're downtown Chicago. This is the nice, fancy area of the downtown. But hidden in plain sight is actually the hotel that's hosting the most migrants across the whole city. There are about 1,500 migrants in the Inn of Chicago, and that's going to be our first stop of the day to investigate this story and see what the hell is going on with this migrant crisis that's hitting the country. This is something that a lot of American cities are going to have to contend with. Chicago and New York are in emergency situations. Their budgets are going crazy. They're going to be heavily in debt.
Hey, I ain't got no problem with that. Hey, that's walking around. Hey, we can do that all day. We can see that all day.
Crazy. They're going to be heavily in debt because of this crisis. We're going to have to figure out how we want to operate the country. More than 17,000 migrants are currently calling Chicago home and are being housed in places like the O'Hare Airport, police stations, universities, and other temporary shelters, which leads some Chicago residents to wonder why they aren't helping Chicago's homeless in the same way that they're helping Chicago's migrants.
Factual, very factual.
Migrant is the appropriate term for these Venezuelan folks. ¿Dónde eres? De Venezuela. Mucha de la gente que están aquí son de Venezuela, ¿sí? La mayoría sí, señor. ¿Qué está ocurriendo en Venezuela? La situación económica, para la familia no hay nada. ¿Fue difícil encontrar un trabajo en Venezuela? Muy difícil conseguir trabajo en Venezuela. ¿Qué fue tu trabajo antes de la crisis? Construcción. ¿Qué es tu experiencia en América ahora? Tengo un poco de haber llegado, pero es diferente a lo que uno está acostumbrado a ver. ¿Cuántos días está en Estados Unidos? Tengo una semana apenas que llegué. ¿Qué quiere ser tu futuro? Para poder estar aquí legalmente y conseguir un buen trabajo. Señor, ¿quieres compartir tu cuenta? Sí. Dígame sobre tu viaje aquí. Vamos en el tren, pasando la selva. ¿Conoces la bestia? La bestia, claro. Lo más peligroso fue Monterrey, Reynosa. Me quitan la cantidad de dinero, te matan, te quitan los niños. El cartel
Nah, I'm playing. That's crazy though. He said take your money and your kids and kill you, take your money and your kids. It's crazy. Cartel. Of course. Wait.
Vengo de Colombia. Colombia se está poniendo igual que Venezuela ya. No tenía trabajo, todo se está poniendo caro, no se consigue trabajo. ¿Haces la viaje a la bestia? Sí, claro. ¿Con tu hija? Mi hija. 3 días viajando en la bestia con mi hija y 3 días en la selva del Darién. Con mi hija y mi otro hijo y mi señora. ¿Qué piensas sobre Estados Unidos? Aquí muy bien, gracias a Dios, todo bien.
Everything is good, and we sit here and complain. It's crazy.
Are you a local Chicagoan? I am not. I am from about an hour away. Should we continue to be sanctuary city?
Nah, I do that to her. Simple.
Or should we say, hey, enough is enough? We should continue to be a sanctuary city, and instead of complaining about the symptoms of why we have people coming in and what a strain it is on our systems, our resources, our communication, our transportation, we should help the antecedent issues with it. One, help the people find a way to make their countries better. Help the people find a way to assimilate in society, not just coming into the larger cities, but also into different parts of the U.S. and even other countries too. The biggest holder of the migrants in the city is just down the street. How is it impacting the city right now?
I have some friends who's some of the migrants are staying next door to them. They're struggling with that a little bit. One day is empty building, next day there's a community there, and they're complaining about the noise, they're complaining about some of the behavior. Kind of it's a tough situation because you feel sorry for individuals who are trying to make a better life for themselves. So it's like no one's fault, but
Right.
man, it's not a good situation for anybody. This
That's exactly what it is. It's like you want to complain because it's like it's just where you from, but they just trying to do better for themselves.
country has a homeless issue. Now you can build tents and find places for people that wasn't here 2 weeks ago. What's this issue that you got homelessness in this country that you can't find money to do?
It looks like they're putting them up in like the fancy hotels too. That's what I thought was kind of interesting. It's not like they're putting people in the Super 8 motel.
Well, it's not premier. The location is, but it's like what's available. That was a hotel that's empty, so it's like, okay.
I know that of the projected city budget, it's supposed to be over 500 million in deficit next year. A third of it's going to be because of the migrant issue. Do you think there's going to be more awareness or protest in Chicago? Because I see some communities that are fiercely against it.
For them to just sit up here with this crap and we're supposed to listen to it.
I am the deputy mayor for Immigrant, Migrant, and Refugee Rights.
These decisions need to be brought to the community.
How can you come into a community and dump people in our community? This is not fair.
It's going to destroy our business. It's going to destroy our hopes and dreams.
But y'all hating. Word.
We should continue to be a sanctuary city.
I think I misspoke.
Hey, you know Chicago ain't gonna play no games with them either. They gonna speak they mind.
Chicago residents happy about the migrant shelter and could only find protest videos. So, looks like no one actually in the city is happy about it.
$500 million, that's a lot. Where was that before? Why is this migrant thing all of a sudden money is falling out of the tree?
Obviously, there's a crisis at the border.
Yeah.
Governor Abbott is shipping about 40 or 50 people from Texas every single day. How do you feel about Governor Abbott doing that?
It's sort of like, come on, man. You know what I mean? But then you say, okay, well, I want you to feel the pain that I'm feeling, right? I understand that, but it seems like that he's trying to make it difficult for you versus turn into a more political statement to show you up versus trying to really be helpful.
Do you think Chicago should continue to be a sanctuary city, I should say?
I think it has to be. I run the Chicago Marathon every year, and we talk about, oh, you run through all these different ethnic neighborhoods. So one minute we're saying we're this big international city, and then you can't be a big international city and not
Right.
be welcome.
Right. I like him, my boy Lou. Shout out Luis, man. Or Louis. Whatever his name, or Louis.
¿Qué está ocurriendo en Venezuela ahora?
Venezuela está hecho un desastre, no hay empleo.
¿Es la falta del gobierno?
Claro.
¿Piensa que Maduro ganó la elección o no?
No, ellos son los que llevan el control de todo, de máquinas las controlan ellos. Es la única forma que puedan ganar.
¿Qué es tu sueño de trabajo?
De un trabajo estable y estar sin
That's it. And you see what he said? Dream. That's all he said, bro. Us Americans is crazy, man.
puedan ganar.
¿Qué es tu sueño de trabajo?
That's crazy. Put stuff in perspective.
Trabajo estable y estar bien aquí.
¿Tú compras este coche en Estados Unidos?
Sí.
¿Cuánto cuesta?
$3,000. Aquí en Estados Unidos tú trabajas y tienes todo. Carro, moto, casa, todo.
¿Cómo peligroso es este barrio?
Un poco peligroso.
¿Conoces personas que fue robado?
Sí, claro. Un catalizador. Ya me robaron. A un amigo también.
Escucho que fue robaron.
Llevaron el catalizador. El carro estaba parado allá frente a la escuela, se metieron y cortaron.
¿Cómo es tu experiencia en Estados Unidos ahora?
Es un país muy bueno, estable.
¿Qué piensas sobre socialistas y comunistas?
El socialismo resulta ser como un cáncer.
Some of the guys invited us in, I don't know. Chicago is really cutting down access here. Me gusta tu Jordan. ¿Cuántas semanas está aquí en Estados Unidos?
1 year, 3 months.
¿Qué es tu experiencia en Estados Unidos?
Una experiencia buena.
Hay algunas personas que están enojados. Ellos dicen, hey, hay personas sin casa que están americanos, de veterans, de guerreros, que no reciben dinero en casas y ellos ven hombres de Venezuela reciben cuartos y más y ellos están enojados. ¿Qué piensas sobre esto?
Solo se ve aquí lo superficial, pero por dentro no saben cómo es por dentro. En un cuarto vemos 30, 20 personas. Y una
Right.
camilla pequeña.
See, that's the one thing though. You don't never know it. Like he said, you don't know what it look like on the inside.
Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola.
¿Qué estás cocinando?
Pequeños.
Muy rico y sabroso.
sabroso.
¿Y disfrutas tu vida en Estados Unidos?
Trabajando para la familia.
It's lit.
Muchas gracias por la comida, muy sabrosa. El señor más guapo todo de Chicago aquí, ¿eh? ¿Cómo es vida en Chicago? ¿Más stable y seguro?
Sí, seguro.
¿Cuánto cuesta para un cortar de pelo?
Corte. 40, 35.
No necesito un cortar. No, aquí, pero aquí sí. Mi esposa dice que es un salva aquí.
Chicago,
Hey, hey.
Para la película, puedes mudar tu mood como esto. ¿Conoces Twitter?
Yes, but no.
Yes, but no.
Para vivir aquí, ¿cuántos dólares por día necesita?
20 la hora, sería bueno.
Tiene un buen día, okay? This has been very interesting to see. I mean, these people are making the best of their situation. They're making do. They're cooking in the park, they're building community, and they're doing the best they can. So you can't really fault the Venezuelans. We would do the same exact thing in their shoes. And literally,
Like I'm saying.
everyone we talk to, all they want to do is be able to work. That's all
Literally,
they want.
that's the crazy part. All they want is the job I'm at now, and I want to get out that job.
Nobody ever said. No one said, I want a Lamborghini, I want a mansion. Let's continue this journey. Well, Chicago welcomed me. How much of this ticket will be? $75 ticket.
Eso lo paga YouTube.
He know about that YouTube ad. But he's talking about, shout out to me, GC.
And just a block away, we got the migrant crisis happening. What is that like experiencing that in your neighborhood?
I believe that the city of Chicago should have did a little bit more for the residents, but it's like there's no order over here.
Some people are upset. They're
Bro,
saying,
you too old, my boy. You too old to be putting on voices that you know you wasn't born with. But like, come on, but you was not born with this voice, sir.
what is that like?
I can't even do it, man.
I believe that the city of Chicago should have did a little bit more for the residents, but it's like there's no order over here.
Some people are upset because they're saying, you know what, there's a lot of Americans here that need help. We have some really tough neighborhoods, we have veterans, we have homeless, that we're not really taking care of. But hey, brand new people that just got guy here from Venezuela, put him up in a hotel, put him up here. What are your thoughts on that?
I work for the Department of Children and Family Services, and I see the homeless crisis happening in the Chicago. In the wintertime, we're passing out blankets, but not trying to get them to a heated place. I believe that the funds that's been spent for the migrants should have been spent for the residents here, stabilize them, and then move on to helping others.
So they say Chicago's going to be over $500,000 in debt, and a third of that issue is going to be because of the migrant crisis. What does that make you think?
The taxpayers.
Yeah.
One thing, I didn't support Trump, but I did support he wasn't bringing over more to the United States of America.
Should Chicago remain a sanctuary city?
I think that we should remain a sanctuary city under certain terms and laws, but not just busing 15,000 people over a day or no place to put them.
Right? It gotta be rules to it.
Venezuelan crisis impacted your life. They're right over there. There's hundreds of them. How is that impacting?
Anybody coming to your house and say, "What you think you see?"
Is that what they're doing?
I'm right here. It's cool if you knew me, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of awkward, yeah.
Do you think Chicago should still be a sanctuary city?
Bro, what happened to your voice, my boy?
Venezuelan crisis impacted your life. They're right over there. There's hundreds of them. How is that impacting?
Anybody coming to your house and say, "What you think you see?"
Is that what they're doing?
I'm right here. It's cool if you knew me, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of awkward, yeah.
Do you think Chicago should still be a sanctuary city?
Oh, it always is a sanctuary
But
city.
you want more people to come in?
I was finna say, like, bro, ain't no way that's your voice, bro.
The problem coming is you staying.
More people to come in.
You got a problem coming is you staying without you paying.
You
Word.
see the Chicago government handing out tons of money, hundreds of millions of dollars to the migrants, but then we have our homeless, we have our tough neighborhoods, we have our veterans. What does that make you feel? Just on the street, there's hundreds of migrants, dollars to the migrants, but then we can't. Do you think Chicago should still
What's wrong with bro?
It is a sanctuary
But
city.
you want more people to come in.
You got a problem coming is you staying without you paying.
When you see the Chicago government handing out tons of money, hundreds of millions of dollars to the migrants, but then we have our homeless, we have our tough neighborhoods, we have our veterans. What does that make you feel?
Word.
Just on the street, there's hundreds of migrants across the city. There's thousands of migrants. How has it impacted your life as a Chicago resident?
It hasn't affected me though. I don't have no problem with it.
Are you glad that Chicago is a sanctuary city? So Governor Abbott from Texas, he's been sending migrants that arrive there. He's been sending 40 or 50 of them at a time in a bus, and now it's built up to thousands of migrants. What is your message if you could talk to Governor Abbott?
What you do for others, you should do for everybody. I believe that everybody needs help.
The next president that runs goes on a platform of closing down our borders. Would doing that make you want to vote for him?
Nah, that would make me vote for him.
All right, folks, we brought you an inside look to the Chicago migrant crisis. Thank you for watching, and as always, love you. See you next week.
Big dogs gotta eat. Tommy G Ski looking for connections to Shaq, Texas Motorcycle Club, RFK Jr. At Tommy G. Hey, Tommy G Ski and Shaq will go crazy. I ain't gonna lie. But W Tommy G Ski, but like I was saying, but it just put it in perspective. Like he was saying, none of them want a mansion, a Lamborghini. They want a stable job. They want a job. They just want to work, man. And you feel me? You gotta take it for what it is, bro. And stay blessed, bro, because, you know, we blessed to be in this country. Look at it, youngin. Youngin done grew up for real, huh? Youngin done grew up, but I remember this day like yesterday. What a time. But nah, I appreciate y'all boys. Y'all boys stay lit.